Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Man is scary.
Wow.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like f with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Damn.
100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
A bear. I would say a man.
One,
Hey ladies.
that a woman would prefer to be trapped in a forest with a bear than a man. Wow. So yeah, this viral topic is obviously causing a lot of people, I don't know, to be triggered, both men and women, because women are saying, yeah, men are dangerous, and men are saying, more than a bear? More than a bear? Do you know what a bear is?
An apex predator.
I did not want to address this topic, but oh my god, so many people are talking about it, so let's do it.
Would you rather encounter a man or a bear? Here's what's actually going to happen. If you see a man, 99.99% of the time, they're just going to be like, hey, how are you? You know, have a good hike. You know, the trail conditions are great, whatever. If you see a brown bear, they're probably going to run away from you. The one time I've seen a bear, they're running away. I would rather see a bear probably than, you know, a moose or a mountain lion especially. If you see a grizzly bear, you better have a gun and a Garmin inReach. I've seen 10 of these videos, they're all over 1 million views, so clearly it's a really common sentiment that men are violent animals, but I'm going to tell you right now that you are probably fine to go hike or camp on your own. And if you really need to, you can bring something with you to keep yourself safe, but it's very unlikely that anybody's going to bother you, let alone try to hurt you. In these people's chronically online takes, if you encounter a man, you have a very slim likelihood of even surviving. In America, you have like a 7 to 1,000th chance of somebody trying to take your life. And higher, but still pretty similar, you have like 4/100ths of a chance. Some of their arguments are really stupid. They were like, I know why a bear's in the woods, but I don't know why a man is in the woods.
Okay, and this is my point to this topic, and I actually disregarded this topic because I'm like, my answer was simple. A woman would survive a man more than a bear.
Why?
Easily. Simply because I thought, wait a second, are all these women so naive to think that a woman is completely so defenseless?
Weak. Fragile.
Just like a woman.
I mean, I'm a man. Are these women thinking a woman's completely defenseless? Yes, a man may be faster and stronger, and some men would say smarter. But even if women think they're smarter than men, I mean...
A bear!
Really?
Man is scary.
For instance, if the dude's out of weight and the chick's a gym girly, yeah, that dude's probably gonna have a heart attack trying to chase her while she's running.
Don't run away from me.
For her dear life. She's in shape. She's fit. There are so many dynamics I thought of where it's like, the woman would survive. When it comes to a bear, no. It doesn't matter if she's a gym girly or not. That's just more protein for the bear. She's packed full of protein.
Delicious.
Yeah. Even as a man, I'm not naive enough to think a woman's completely defenseless against a man. I think a woman could fight. She could get a rock, a sharp stick. It's still a man. Even no matter what he wants to do, it's still a man. A bear, a grizzly, if he's hungry, yeah, really. Really, come on.
Well, maybe he's a human being with agency. You know, that's hard for you to grasp, but, you know, men are humans too. And, oh, if a bear attacked me, people will believe me. But nobody will believe me if a man attacked me. That's a lie. You don't even need to make a false accusation. You can entirely fabricate a story, just spread it on social media, and people will make an entire, like, hashtag campaign for you, and it would confirm people's bias. I don't know how you could say nobody would believe you. Meanwhile, you're getting hundreds of thousands of likes or millions of views on videos basically saying that men are violent animals. If you followed me in the past, you know I really love hiking and camping. I'm going to renovate my car. I'm really excited for the 2024 season. I'm not really afraid of encountering men or women, but I will still carry bear spray.
Damn, imagine encountering your crazy ex in the forest and she's got a bloodlust. It's like she's coming after you. Now, as a man, would you survive that? Would you survive that?
Bear versus man, let's get into it. I love that this is where we're at as a society. Everyone and their mother has talked about this video, at least that's what my algorithm is showing. But I thought I would weigh in my 2 cents. I haven't heard anyone say this. If I were to encounter a bear, I would think that a bear is not interested in attacking me. I don't think a bear is interested in eating me. I think a bear would rather have fish. I know that if a bear were to attack me...
Not to cut her off, your food. Woman, your food. As if the bear's going to be like, not today. You know what? You know what, woman? Carry on your hike. I'm going to go in, go down to the river and, have some fish. No. Woman, your food. She's trying to rationalize a bear. Okay.
The bear could do significant damage, but I don't think the bear is inherently interested in attacking me unless I attacked the bear. Unless the bear was a mama bear and had baby bears somewhere nearby, or I was threatening to the bear. I think if I saw a bear and I said, let me go behind this tree, that bear would not then try to find me and then assault me.
You never know.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
No.
If I were to encounter a man in the woods, just me and this man, no one else in sight or within screaming range, I would put money on that man doing something bad to me. Because a lot of these men are only civilized and are only decent because society has only given them that choice. We have seen how men act, decent civilized men, when they know that they have immunity to consequences. Think of celebrities or people who have a lot of power. Think of people who fly to certain islands and people who...
Women have rationalized so hard and so much how the bear would be a safer option. From her perspective, the bear may not want to bother her. And even if we understand, like, okay, if she's not threatening to the bear's offspring, if she's not in the bear's territory, whatever, the bear may leave her alone. Acknowledged. Granted. However, none of that matters if the bear's hungry. If the bear's like, you know what? Yo, food. The bear's not thinking, oh, a woman, I'm gonna leave her alone because if I was a man bear, I'd take advantage of her, really. Bruh. Really. The bear's gonna eat her.
Who are connected in certain industries or who have a certain amount of political power. Is this not where we see the most concentration of some of the most like abhorrent behaviors that men can exhibit towards women and children? Because these men know that they will probably not encounter any kind of consequences for these actions. And we've seen this recently with Diddy. So if I encountered a man in the woods and he is, due to our isolation, he could be pretty confident that he would encounter no consequences for whatever he did to me, I would put money on the fact that that man's probably going to do something bad to me. Versus a bear, unless I'm with that bear, I think it would be pretty unlikely that that bear would with me.
The bear's confident he's gonna eat you. Damn right. You could possibly fight the man and beat the man up. Possibly. No woman has mentioned that in all these videos. You could possibly beat the man up.
It's a damn lie.
Likely, come on. But a rock, throw a rock at a man. I'm sorry, but don't throw a rock at my head. Come on, I'm a lovely head. Don't throw a rock at my head. But come on, or a sharp stick. You push him off a cliff. Look, a man's not a 600-pound grizzly bear that's hungry. He's probably hungry for something else if he's like that. All men aren't like that. Granted, a lot would be. All no. Because if I was trapped in the forest with a woman and a bear, and the bear was coming to eat somebody, I'd be like, you know what, woman, I'm not thinking of getting you. I'm going to outrun you. I'm sorry. I'm going to outrun you. And if the bear gets you, it's like, hey. Damn right. Hey, I guess I was built like a man. Just carry on.
I don't know a single woman who has no incentive to lie to me in our casual discussions. I don't know a single woman who hasn't had something traumatic happen to her at the hands of a man, including myself. I don't know any. I don't know a single one.
Well, I know we've all seen the video. There's a guy walking around asking women, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? Most of the women said a bear. I just want y'all, just hear me out. I just want y'all to slow it down and realize that social media isn't real life. You pull up all these stats. 1 in 6 women will be attacked by a man in her lifetime. Only 1 in 1 million people have a chance to be attacked by a bear. Let's think about this. You live with and walk past in your life probably hundreds of thousands of men. You will probably never just walk past a bear, all right? So no shit. Okay? I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. The chance that I'm gonna walk up on a Kodiak bear? Damn right. What the slim to none ever in life, never. I don't even go to the zoo. You talk about. That's one. That's proximity. The way y'all be bringing this shit up is ridiculous.
Like, even if you understand women rationalizing the point that a bear is doing what it's doing for survival, and the man's doing what he's doing out of a villainous man with horrible, disgusting tendencies, okay. But the bear being an animal, there's no reasoning with the bear when instinctually he's thinking about survival. It's hungry. Woman, food, going to eat you. Men can be animalistic. Okay. Bears are animals.
The way that question should have been asked, would you rather be lost in the woods with a bear that wants to kill you or a man that wants to kill you? With a bear that wants to harm you or a man that wants to harm you? So that you could get the real answers. I ain't never hit a woman violently. I ain't never put a violent hand on a woman. I ain't never sexually assaulted a woman. No, none of that. Ever.
But a bear probably has.
Damn right. 1 in 6 women will be attacked by a man in her lifetime.
The fact that he said this statistic in a mocking tone and then laughed at it, like, so you were so close to understanding the point, and then you just zoom right past it and proved women right. It is genuinely so frustrating. But in case you missed it, a bunch of boys are crying on the internet this week because women were asked, would you rather be completely stranded and alone in the middle of nowhere, like in the woods, with a bear or with a strange man? And a bunch of the women instantly said, with a bear, of course. Now, a bunch of these boys are coming in angry to prove why women made the right choice here. And let's sit down and talk about it. Because yes, the bottom line is if I'm in the middle of the woods stranded and I see a bear, I'm just going to assume that that bear lives there. And as we know, bears attacking women or humans at all for no reason is pretty rare / unheard of. Like, bears don't inherently want to harm humans or really interact with them in any way.
Okay, I get her point, but I'm going to interject a quick point. Most humans don't live in the woods. Bears invade a lot of territories where humans built homes, but most humans don't live in the woods, so...
Unless you have, like, food and you're actively, like, threatening them. But for the most part, bears will have no interest in you. And I'm seeing a lot of commenters of people who actually live in areas where bears are, and they're like, we see bears all the time, and honestly, if you just ignore them, they're just gonna keep on going their way. However, women know, statistically, that is not the case with men, okay? You see a random man on the street, a lot of times he's not just going to leave you alone. And if men are comfortable doing that stuff in a public city street, imagine running into one in the middle of nowhere, stranded in the wilderness.
Okay, the point that a lot of women don't understand, why a lot of men are pissed with the point, is women act as if a man's default setting is to be violent, is to be a forceful, draws-taking, rapist of a man. It's like, that's not men's default setting. Oh my God. And women don't seem to understand why a lot of men are triggered. It's like, that's not all men. Regardless of how many men are built that way, all men aren't naturally built that way. So the default setting isn't going to be attack. Like, they're rationalizing a bear's default setting isn't to attack because, okay, it may need to protect something. It may not want to attack you, whatever. They're acting as if a bear's default setting isn't to attack what a man's is. And that is ridiculous because instinctually a man isn't, not speaking for all men because I know I can't speak for all men, to just, woman, caveman style, gonna get what I want from her. Really?
In fact, one of the most famous short stories ever written, The Most Dangerous Game, is literally about this scenario. There is nothing more dangerous than a man in the middle of the woods. And you couple it on the statistic that this man almost got right, where 1 in 5 women experience attempted or completed R-word in their lifetime, not just essay, R-word specifically. And then 81% of women, and yes, 43% of men, but perpetrators are usually still 98% men, will experience some sort of SA in their lifetime.
But y'all acting like men are scarier than bears? You ain't watched enough nature documentaries.
So I'm an ecology major, and I know way too much about bears, like way more than the average person.
Of course you do.
And I would still choose the bear.
Of course.
So in the US, there are only about 6 fatal bear attacks per year. And there are millions of people who spend time in the woods, who go hiking and all that. So it's not like nobody is like anywhere near bears ever. And when those attacks do happen, it's usually when someone provokes a bear, not when they're just existing in their habitat. For the most part, you will be completely fine if you leave them alone and mind your business. But the same cannot be said about men. Also, let's say I did choose the bear and the bear killed me. You know what? I would be okay with that. I would give him a little hug as I went out.
Really? You wouldn't have any arms to hug it. It would have eaten your arms already.
Facts.
Would be the perfect way to die.
So I'm pretty sure by now we've all seen the viral video of that man asking a bunch of women if they would rather be stuck in the woods alone with a bear or a man. And if there are 2 things that could be affirmed by the men who left responses on that video, it is that 1, men obviously believe that women are unintelligent and overdramatic. And 2, men seem to severely underestimate the negative physical and emotional effects of grape.
Okay, let me stop over there. Look, I think it's women underestimating the power of women. I, as a man, do not believe women are completely incapable and useless.
Nope.
She's trapped in the forest with a man. What, is a woman not intelligent enough to think of a way to, defend herself? Again, it's a forest. There are many things that one can construct into weapons. You could say the man would have weapons as well, but is she just going to go out like that? She's going to lay down and take it? Really? Are women not smart enough to outthink the man? Out-strategize him?
Guess not.
Because from my perspective, it seems like women are just saying automatically the man's going to get her.
And on a disappointingly large scale. They genuinely believe that women are lying and being overdramatic when they say that they would rather be unalived quickly than go through SA. And I know it's because a lot of them haven't gone through that experience. They can't even picture themselves going through that experience, and they
I'm not
struggle
even
with
saying
empathy.
that.
But the unfortunate reality is it's also because they simply don't care what happens to women because they don't view women
Oh
as
my
equals.
God.
And
Oh
in
my
order
God.
to get a single drop of human decency in this hierarchical society, they have to view you as an equal. But it really is jarring just how many men care more about preserving their reputation just so that they can have access to women versus evaluating and ruminating on the fact that millions of women would rather be alone with a wild animal than be alone with them. But I guess that's just what happens when you've been conditioned to view someone as a tool rather than a human being.
Really?
If you replaced all the men on Earth with bears, would you be more or less safe? Good question. I mean, I'm going to lean towards more safe.
Fun fact, I lived in the woods in Northern California in basically a cabin for 7 years. And we were surrounded by bears. And we would have bears in our yard at least once every couple weeks, if not every week. One day, a dude came up to our house and he was on my back deck. And my wife could see him through the sliding glass window leading onto the back deck. And she said, "There's a man on our deck." I've never gotten more chills on the back of my neck than when she said that.
Okay, granted, to add some balance, here we have a man making the point that, yeah, she probably would be more safe with a bear. And this is a man that actually does live where bears are. So he's making a first person point. But again, my point is, why do people act as if women would have completely no chance of surviving? When in the same breath they tell you, well, women can do the same thing men can do, women are strong and as fast as men, then how does that work? This topic is good because it's admitting a lot of things a lot of people don't want to admit. A lot of people want equality, yeah, but this topic proves, well, the sexes are not equal because seemingly everyone believes women are just
weak, fragile. And we've had multiple bears on our back deck. He was just a linesman in the area working on power lines and he was hot, so he wanted some water, that was it. But hard agree, men way scarier than bears.
Man or bear? Most women have chosen bear. They feel safer around a bear. Now, is that something against men or something good about bears?
I think a bear would rather have fish. We know that if a bear were
Have a nice day.
Damn right. You dog.